We'll be right back. was driving down a dirt path leading up to my friend's house. He lives up a mountain in a small town in Colorado. It's a nice place to live, but all these turns are going to be the death of me. I say this because the paths are narrow and unpaved. It also happens to be night out, and I only have the lights in my car to light the path. There is a cliff as well right next to the path that I so happen to be driving on. At the bottom of said cliff has big sharp pointed rocks and trees. Don't forget trees. But what really got me was what I saw up there. It was pure terror. I never thought something like that existed. It was as if I walked into a nightmare. The way it looked, the sound it made was as if death ripped my soul from my skin. I turned pale like snow. The life in me was gone. I was terrified. My body froze. And on that day, I got a new meaning of terror. This thing stood so tall that it looked like a giant. When I encountered it, I was halfway up a hill, and I was in the middle of the road. I had to stop, but the worst part of it all, there was a little girl with it. The girl was in her PJs. She looked cold and frightened. I had to do something. That's when I came up with the idea to try and get the little girl from this beast. I had my 9mm pistol in my glove compartment, so without thinking about it, I grabbed the gun. I got out of my car and loaded the gun. That was the biggest mistake I had made. The beast turned toward my direction. That's when I got a good look of it. It was female, at least what I could see of it. A dog-like skull for a head, body like a human. Nothing but skin and bones. Eyes so shot that it screamed death. Missing skin, a hole through its chest. This thing shouldn't even be breathing, let alone alive. That's when I froze. I stood there watching the beast, and its jaw opened. It made a sound like a wolf warning you to stay away from its cub. But I could not just leave that little girl there. She'll die for sure. That's when lights from another car came up, and the beast fled, taking the little girl with. I shot my gun in the direction the beast went, but I don't think I hit it. The car pulls up right next to me, and it was my friend. Apparently I was late, and he came looking for me. He asked me why I was out in my car with a gun, but I was so terrified and tired from the long drive that I collapsed. When I came to, it was morning, and I was on a couch at my friend's house. When I sat up, my friend was sitting on a chair. He asked me about last night. I told him everything, and of course, he didn't believe me. And those who live here, be careful. That thing is still out there. And as for the little girl, I'm sorry.